Good morning. It's the Wall Street Weekly wrap up for March 30th, 2024, with your host, John Newquist. It's the end of the quarter, so it'll be a little longer show because we're going to cover all stocks in our 11 sectors, how we did, and let's take a look at the news, though. Apple. Boy, we had just a little bit of position in it. We got it, and then this news came out that JP Morgan said that iPhone sales are dropping dramatically in China. I think Apple's got to warn. I don't think it's having growth. Remember, it's a lot of part of the revenue for Apple. There's Tim Cook was over there this last week. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good at all for Apple, and it's been negative for the year, and I think it might be negative for the whole year. Oil, we also talk about the golden cross, the moving averages, crosses, and stuff, and the 50-day is going up, and we might have it cross the 200-day, and people are talking $100 oil. I see 90. I see that the Russians are having problems as the Ukrainians are popping their refineries. They're importing from Belarus, and that means oil is going to be scarce for India and China. They're going to have to buy the oil from other places, which means prices are going to go up. Now, Saudi Arabia has 2 million barrels a day. They're holding back to try to drive the prices up, and and other theories, but really they can release it and it would be okay because they can make up what Russia made. But will they do it? No. I don't think they mind seeing $100 oil. A lot of companies, but talk about it more. Wow, look at the S&P, a record high, a new high for the record. Could you imagine being an analyst telling people to sell the stocks and buy it lower 4 weeks ago? You missed these rallies. Holy smokes, how much did you lose? 6-7% of the month's gain? Wow. Like I said, if there's something wrong, we got COVID or, the complete collapse of commercial real estate, then that's a different animal. But right now, the earnings are good, and that's what we're looking at. The consumer is weak. We hear that. We're hearing that all over. But that's not with full employment, not a big deal right now. And NASDAQ's up 9%. So, you think about this. You'd be happy for an 8% gain on an S&P for the year, and you got it in the first quarter. And the indicators, 4.2 for the 2-year note. People are getting to a point where they think there's going to be maybe 2 or 3 rate cuts. I think maybe 2. I think as long as employment stays good and inflation stays sticky at 3.5 or something like that, we're not going to get these rate cuts. And the market doesn't mind, because I grew up with these rate cuts and unemployment at 5.5%, and inflation at 4 or 3 was good. Oil's above 80, and that's a sign that it's going to go up there. It's stronger. Gold, record high. Record high. So we're seeing a lot of things high. Bitcoin hit above 70 again. It didn't get up to 73, but not bad. Copper's still hanging above 4. And natural gas future prices, a low. Almost a 20-year low. Incredible. Why? Because we got a lot of oil. And as you make oil, the natural gas is a free byproduct for a lot of these companies. The market breadth hit 81% above their 200-day moving average. That's a good rally. This is like 1982. I hate to say that's when I kind of started in it, but this means the market is all participating. It's not just the techs, it's everybody. And you'll see when we look at our 11 sectors, except for maybe one, the REITs, everything else is pretty good overall. We're seeing gains in almost every sector. So that's a good sign, and that's a good, healthy sign. It's not one sector like it was last year. Merck, Keytruda for chemotherapy, neoadjustment, continued as the European approves it. And, of course, Merck jumped up on that approval. And, wow, look at this chart. This has been a great stock. Clorox, one of our recent additions, so it's not going to go up much. But they're getting out of Argentina, of course, with all their issues, and Uruguay and Paraguay, and I think it'll be better for them. So everybody seems to be positive. You saw the stock kind of creep up over here at the end as the week ended. Remember, it was only a 4-day week. We have Good Friday off for the markets and stuff. And Donald J. Trump, has a social media site called Truth Social. They took a SPAC, merged it in. So all this SPAC doesn't matter. Don't even worry what it was. But it opened up at its high, and then you can see everybody sold and took profits. So he's going to have like $3 billion, and the question is, when can he sell? 6 months? That's a long time. Maybe they'll make a provision. I don't know. So like I said, usually with these new IPOs, they have 6 months of insider selling and everything. And I have a feeling, I don't think the revenues are going to be that good. I don't think they're going to match anything close to, 10% gains and stuff like that. Maybe some people will jump there because the site opened up as a stock, but I see this as like drcoop.com, Coop, K-O-O-P, back in 98. Internet company, no money, shoots up like a balloon, and worthless a year or two later. Coffee, chocolate, oh my God, do things I love in life, it's a record high. So you know what? It hasn't hit the retailers yet, but it will. It will. Chocolate is already up there. Stuff that was $5 is now $8. I would suggest if you see some coffee you like, maybe stock up a little bit. Not going to hurt yourself. It could come back down. We know one thing about every of these commodities, but realistically, I'm watching the West Africans having drought last year, drought this year. You can't make that much coffee beans, and that's a real problem. And that's an area. I am surprised that we're not making coffee beans here by the droves, because this thing is a fortune if you can make it. But we'll see. And of course, there's always negative people, and they could be right. If you're negative every year for 20 years, you'll be right at 3 or 4 years. So don't, But I watch it, and it says so crowded that they may crack at any time. You know what that is? That's nonsense. This is called babble. Here's what you're looking at, and this is a real number that I look at. If this is the 200-day moving average, you're way above statistical average. It has to correct. We haven't had a correction of 2% in a long time, or almost, record amount. So if you wanted to say statistically it is way above the 200-day moving average, it usually gets a correction. Like over here, it's way above the moving average, and we did get a correction. So I could do that, and I think we're due for a 10% correction this year. And like I said, then it'll probably be going. What'll trigger it? Who knows? War can always trigger it. You get $112 oil, you're going to have a lot of slowdown on the consumer, because now, as one of my friends say, hey, it's $100 to fill up the car. Well, that's going to cut back on something. So those are things that can trigger a recession. And the consumer staples, everybody's watching Walmart and everything, because if that goes down, they're starting to see people really cut back, then we might have a recession. And with that should be unemployment jumps up, but we'll see. Okay, let's go to our 11 sectors, and I just highlighted in blue the best of them all. I mean, the techs, we're overweighted because we're in AI, ARM, Meta, Google, Taiwan Semiconductor, Microsoft, NVDA. We added Snap because their Snap has become TikTok. It is very good. Been a flat company for a flat time. It's going to go well, because if they ban TikTok, Snap's going to double. But I think they've stole the TikTok algorithm or something, because they can sit there and I can sit there and watch 5 to 6 minutes, because they got some good videos that when you scroll up, you're saying, wow, these are real good. Then you say, okay, I got to get back to work. So in the video, look at the double top. Everybody's watching this double top, because that's an issue that stock markets, you go up there, you hit it twice, you can have a triple top, and then you typically come down. And what we're looking at, 200-day moving average, we're way above it. We could drop 200 days, and not be halfway, at about halfway to the moving average. So, but it's, enjoy it. It's a good stock. The revenues are good. Quarterly reports have been monstrous, like best in 20 years for some tech stocks. Healthcare, we're overweight with the biotechs and stuff. APGE doubled. Holy smokes! When you got a phase 1 trial pass, it just jumps. And so that's why that's a big reason we're up. Remember, big difference. We're up 20%. The market is up 10%. We're double the average. Well, we have to have a couple big winners, and that's it. But look at a lot of these. Novo Nordisk with the Ozempic, and Merck with the approval, and Xire, another biotech, always up. I mean, these are juggernauts. We knew biotech had been down 3 straight years. It's their time. Let's try to find the best biotechs, and we got them. Walmart is our king. Went for a triple stock split, so up 18%. I mean, that's good. Amazon up 18%. These are monsters for retailers. I mean, you're talking about a company that, if you take 8% a year, that'd be good for Walmart. It's going up fast. Why? Because it's doing well. My favorite for the beauty side is Elf. The budget pricing of everything, $40 for mascara. Now you can go to Elf and buy it for 15. That's what people are doing. It's good products. And everybody says, well, it's sold at Target. Well, so what? If it works, is just as good. People are starting to say, maybe I'm not going to buy Estee Lauder or somebody else, Ulta and stuff. So I think they hit a right niche. I don't want to say it's value price, but very good products. They love the products, and CEO is marvelous. Energy, of course, with the oil. Look at this nice, slow, steep up. It's a little too high. I'd like it a little slower, but it doesn't work that way. ExxonMobil up 16%. Conoco's right behind it. Going to be solid. And like I said, they talk about the Golden Cross. Here's our 200-day moving average. 50 days going to come by it. Here's our 20-day already run ahead. Everybody's ready for a $90 oil. And remember, if they make $60 oil, they're making fortune. $90, they're going to make billions. FCX, everybody's watching copper. You know what? The new copper thing, it used to be, we're building, that's why we have copper. Now we're building data centers, and they need a lot of copper to build a data center, run the electricity to it. I don't know. I've never seen the math on it. I mean, I've been to data centers, and they do use a lot of copper. And is it much as a bunch of houses? Sure. But I don't know. I haven't done that kind of math. We added Clorox, so not much movement on it. And our REITs, of course, are tough. Everybody's worried about high interest rates. Housing as owner, the REITs are pretty good. And EQR is doing the best of our two. Again, we're going to be in them. We know it's tough because we can't predict when they're going to go up. That's the whole thing. Next thing you know, it's up 20% a quarter, and you missed it because it'll come down. Well, it didn't come down. So that's that timing thing. We want to be spread out in the best companies in the best 11 sectors plus the other ones. JP Morgan is just a monster. Geez, look at this thing. Steady upward. This is the slope. When I want to see a 200-day moving average, I like this slope, about 30 degrees, 25 degrees. Alexa, stop. And then Vertiv is a stock that does NVDA air conditioning ventilation systems. It's an industrial company that makes electronic parts. I see them at the data centers. I really didn't understand what they were. I just thought they were just another contractor. I didn't realize you build an NVIDIA center, you're getting Vertex as the person's going to put in the whole cooling system and stuff. Why? Because you've got $500 million of stuff in that data center, and you need to have it not be hot and everything. It's amazing. It comes from the top or the bottom, depending who designs it. You got to have it at the right temperature. You can't have these, as somebody said, $500,000 chips heating up and burning, And, I was watching Jensen Huang. He says, yeah, I know the chips are expensive, $700,000, but $10 million of the old chips doesn't even do what the $700,000 of our chips do. Oh, money talks, Lockheed, it's up. I like Lockheed. They're going to build the stuff for the defense, and that's not, never have. I mean, this country, if anything else, definitely always seems to be in a war somewhere or helping somebody in the war. And then our utilities, Southwest Gas, doing good. Look at this. I mean, this is one of the examples. They sell and they distribute gas and stuff. So when it's cheap, they make money. And guess who's making money? Southwest. And it's been up there. Here's a multiple bottom. Let's go over 1, 2, 3, 4 technically bottoms. You could have 4 tops, and it could even bounce around for a long time. But that's what you have. When going to NextEra, we're still in it. It's finally going up. We've watched it go down for a while. China fund down. Of course, China. When the execs went over there, they said it's really bad. It's not good over there. Our 2 Bitcoin miners, BT, and Riot. Of course, Bitcoin jumped at the end, and BT went up. And of course, it went down, and now it went up. It went down to 220. So we just put it aside. This is the way to play Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's going to go 150, this will double. It's a tough sector to play in, but you don't need to be buying Bitcoin at that price. If you want to, these are the companies that are going to go because they mine Bitcoin. Even though the halving is going to be this month in April, they are going to sit there and make money. They're not going to lose money. Remember, $7,000 a mine of Bitcoin, and if it's $70,000, we half of that. Let's say it goes up to $15,000. But as it gets energy efficient, all you have to do is think, I got $15,000 of stock, and I'm going to mine a Bitcoin, and I'm going to give you $70,000. I think anybody would jump on it because you're going to, sit there and quadruple your money, is no lose. So that's why, once the halving's done, people start to do the math and realize that even if it's at $15,000 a Bitcoin to mine and double the cost, they're making a fortune. When they make it, they can sell it and keep in operation. Riot's our other one. TKO is our WWE and WWF, and the cable lease for ESPN for UFC is going to probably come up, and that's one of the things that I think will do well. The ratings, the revenue, everything's good. They just settled under UFC $350 million lawsuit from trying to be mean competition back a few years ago to everybody and screwing some of the fighters. But like I said, now it's off their books. Now they can deal with it. So I think it's stock that I'm going to hold for a while because it does well. Everybody's advertising Bud Light and Prime and everything is on the marquee and stuff. So if you look at it, this is always do the year-to-date heat map. I love this map, and look at the greens. Holy smoke! Tesla, the worst stock in the S&P 500. I'm telling you, you cannot manage. It's like Elon said. I went from working 80 hours a week to $120 a week, and you know what? Time to put the stupid X away and concentrate on your business. You're going to lose it. Remember, he has Tesla, SpaceX, the robots, all these other businesses, and he's not doing the job. He's too infatuated with the stupid social media thing that isn't making enough money to sit there and do it. And that's where, if I was on the board of Tesla, you're watching this stuff drop. The negative, image and everything. You might lose people. You don't want to be controversial in retail. You want to have a product that people like the company, that like the boss, and it does well. Boeing, of course, nonstop problems. Calhoun said he's going to resign, and that's probably good for everybody. Because, you can sit there and talk about it. He was an insider, got promoted. Now they're going to put a COO, a CFO person, financial, make him head of the operations. And I don't know. I mean, Boeing's going to have an issue, and, maybe they can fix it, maybe they can't, but it's got to get fixed. And Apple, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised next quarter. This is like minus 15%. I am not looking for a good Apple quarter. I think we had a good one last one. It went up in revenue, but I think there's some issues. And of course, there's EU and DOJ stuff, but that's just noise. The main thing is they're using Google to put in the AI phone. Everybody's waiting for the AI phones. Nobody's going to upgrade. They want to be able to get something. I would love to have ChatGPT on my phone. Yeah, I got Google Gemini. It's not bad. But I would like to sit there and be able to do it where you can just query stuff. It remembers everything you asked and do this. ChatGPT doesn't remember your name. That's kind of stupid. How can you have a thing? And of course, the new upgrade is going to be $100 billion computer or something as Microsoft and ChatGPT. I was like, 100 billion. That's a lot of money. But they're talking. It's all talk. But otherwise, a great quarter. Thank you for sticking. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button. Subscribe. We are, we don't get any money out of this, but I just tried to help people, and I think it's a good deal. We're doing good this year. Let's enjoy it. Let's celebrate. If you want to go out and have a nice dinner or have something, sweet to drink or eat, this is the time. You had a good quarter. Enjoy it. Don't sit there and say, I got to do everything. Have a good time. All right. I'll see you next week. Have a good week. Bye.